Hello, Bl'Artagnan here with a TCC challenge for Glittering City of Gold, the Sazh Mission Dungeon Lufenia Plus fight. Before we get into it, be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, ring that notification bell, and leave a comment down below with the any challenge runs you may have applied to this fight. I know we're now officially in garbage time, so I'm curious to hear what you're doing to keep yourself entertained. We're bringing a team here of Vaughn, Keistis, and Agrius. No BT+, no synergy, so let's get into it. We're using that Faris call early on combined with Agrius' Paralyze to get past their giant Brave Gain thing. That reduced to 0 plus the Paralyze keeping us safe is gonna be pretty handy this fight. Because one of the few mechanics this fight really brings to bear in, well, okay, I say few, they're actually pretty dangerous if you let them act. That recast is no joke. But we have a lot of ways to no turn, and if you're doing that, the only thing you're gonna really have to worry about is that big Brave Gain they get where they get a bunch of defense and turn off your battery, which for a Vaughn-centric team is not great. These three actually work really well together though, you know, we're bringing like, what, 40% Brave Gain up in addition to that combined utility of Paralyze plus Delay. So this is going to go really well, and Vaughn's going to just be hitting like a truck, and I think this is going to be a grand old time. That said, the turn count is pretty tight at 65, so hopefully that won't come back to bite us. Another handy little thing is we have a bunch of HP damage up thanks to Agrius' Fated Moly and the Kurasame, which, thanks to Fated Moly's Confuse, will never actually drop below 5 stacks. So that's kind of neat, isn't it? We'll be just kind of pushing them back. The trick with this fight, with this team, I found, is actually you want to give Keistis as few turns as possible, weirdly enough, because her damage is just absolute jank. We want Vaughn to be taking as many turns as possible here. And so Keistis is going to be not spamming Degenerator Whip. We're only really going to use Degenerator Whip if absolutely necessary in order to push them back. Otherwise, it's just a huge damage loss for her to be taking turns that we don't need. So we are taking a careful look at how much health these guys are at, because their first big gain is coming up, and we want to be able to make sure we handle that properly. Because they're going to delay themselves and turn off our battery, and again, as I've been saying, huge damage loss. So we want to ideally keep them as close to us as possible so we can just, you know, kind of paralyze them and get on with our lives, so to speak. So hopefully this will bring them below, damn it, didn't bring them below 760. Well, maybe this will bring, this terrible EX will do the, oh wow, that was just useless. Keistis' damage really just is absolute garbage. So we're just going to toss out a casual skill 2 there and be kind of annoyed because the next 3 turns are basically going to be wasted. We're going to drop a quick Paralyze. Don't want to waste a Fated Moly since that HP damage is good, and since we're not really getting anything out of it, we might as well use a Red Spiral here. Just get a little attack up. Why the heck not? Kind of annoyingly, Keistis jumped up in the turn order with that their HP attack. That high turn rate, kind of annoying. Finally using the second piece of Kurasame's call to break them both, get that defense down so we can start going to town on them. Got that party enchant, so that's nice. Oh, there we go, that's cool. We can launch them, and this is actually perfect. It brings Agrius up. And the reason we want to bring Agrius up is because with Vaughn, we're going to bring in Sid Raines now, belonging to my friend Daniel. Hello, Daniel. I hope you're watching this, and I hope you appreciate. This is a very fine Sid Raines. Daniel's been singing Sid Raines' praise since the character was first announced all those months ago. There we go, Fated Moly reapplied. The reason we're using Sid Raines here, well, there are a couple of reasons. One, I just didn't really feel like I had any good BT plus friends or whatever that I wanted to use, and we can actually do a fun little dance here between Keistis and Sid Raines' LD, where the enemy will be unable to act and will be taking some giant launch damage. Even on Keistis' turn, we get a decent battery there with Agrius into Raines, and that's alright. That's better damage than we would have otherwise. So the main reason is the turn manipulation combined with, you know, the fact that Raines does like 1,000,000 damage every turn of his. I was just figuring that was probably, you know, that's okay. It's actually kind of fun because it means I get to say it's an entirely BT plus free run, which is kind of a rarity for me these days. I do enjoy playing with our fun new toys. Into the sky with you. Hacking away. Yeah, this fight, I haven't really done like a let the enemies act team with this fight, mostly because The holidays are upon us. I actually just finished up with some delightful Christmas celebrations with my own family. So obviously time has been at a premium, but it's okay. I hope you've been spending the holidays, this holiday season, this December, this winter month, productively and joyfully, and surrounded by friends and family and food and all that good stuff. Whether you celebrate or not, it's something I'd wish upon anyone, I want you to be having a good time, so I hope you are, regardless of your personal situation. Anyway, what do we got going on back in the game? This is Sazh's event. I actually I lucked into Sazh's LD on the free pull. I haven't used him yet, but we'll see. It certainly wasn't in my plans, so I'm like, well, now what do I do? I have Sazh, I guess. Well, here we are. So Keistis is going to do one last launch, just to get rid of that extra Brave that Reigns has stored up, and to delay just to where we want him. I'm not going to use a Knight's Pride or whatever it's called, because we want Vaughn to be the next one to go. So he can use Bart's LD call, set to 0, is not an instant break, so it works here, and is one of several ways we can use to get around that Brave game. That out of the way, we can go ahead and quickly use the Bart's base call to bring in the Wind Imperil, and go into Burst. This might not have been the best use of call, but I figure, I guess I could use a Ketchi call, but like your Roha call or something, but I figured, Wind Imperil, that's cool. Stacks Wind Enchant onto his Wind attack. That's nice. And it gives weakness damage to his LD and to the BT finisher. This is a holdover, honestly. Well, no, the main reason I was using Bart's is the LD call. I'm completely talking out of my ass at this point. I was trying to remember why I used the base call there, and the reason is because, I'm probably thinking back, I probably should have just kept the LD call. I think it has like some Brave damage up or some good shit in there, but whatever. The deed is done. We can't go back. And to take advantage now of the burst effect, for one thing, and the fact that with Shiva we now have Ice Enchant, so everyone's going to be hitting for weakness, thanks to the Kurasame debuffs Ice Imperil. So that's a fun little synergy. I think that's going to be a little thing that's going to make Shiva one of my go-to summons for the foreseeable future. Between that and the freeze and just the general stat boost she gives, really totally fantastic summon to use right now. Anyway, we're getting up there in turns. We have about 15 actions to go after Keistis goes here. And we don't really want them to run out of call debuffs. That's the main thing here, is we don't want that Faris debuff to fall off and that defense down to go away. So we're going to give them each one more turn. Take advantage of that Faris LD, reduce them to 0 again. God, I love it. Break you, deal a bunch of damage. Vaughn's still hitting crazy hard in Lufenia Plus. You love to see it. A little launch there, and now we have plenty of time. I think we can drop a Degenerator Whip here. Drop another one here, maybe. Yeah, into the sky. We're actually going to Brave attack because I figured Vaughn would get more mileage out of his refund. But honestly, realizing I was going to do this anyway and battery the team, it probably could have been an HP attack. Whatever. Anyway. One last LD, and as luck would have it, Bart's base call lasted just long enough for us to get weakness damage on that, so that was pretty cool. And we can go ahead and hopefully set up for one last burst of damage, because we're now 5 actions left, and more than enough of those are going to be Keistis. It's making me nervous. Really, I want Vaughn to be taking, well, 2 actions here, I guess, and that's all we're going to get out of him. Luckily, Igris is going to deal some damage here, but this is going to be down to the wire. Keistis, again, deals absolute jank damage, so you can't Degenerator Whip with her. Just Laser Whip real quick, get that battery in there, and finish it with Vaughn right on the dot. So there you go, TCC Challenge, Glittering City of Gold, Lufenia Plus, garbage time, here we are. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas. Adios.